Being a game collector is like being a bird of prey. His eyes are finely tuned to spot even the most elusive cartridge. But the collector's hunt is never over. There is and will always be yet another game.
Being on the lookout for games can be tough. You always have to keep your senses about you. I think I see some games there.
I'm JROCK, and come with me on my journey of game collecting. This is Pickups.
We can game if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't play, and if they ain't game, well, they ain't no friends of mine. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you come in there. Please, allow me to get comfortable. No, wait. Let me do that a little better for my viewers of the female persuasion. Okay, now that I'm comfortable, let's start with episode 3 of my video game pickups. So far, it's been going all right. I've gotten some good feedback from my first couple of episodes, and for this one, I got sorry, no cartridges this time. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. But next episode, I'll have some cartridges to show you. But I have a fuck ton, pardon my French, a fuck ton of disc games. So. And also, I have this. This is the first pickup to show you here. This was a wedding gift from a friend of ours, my friend Steph. She bought this from Com Bravo. I wish I had the vendor who made this. I wish I had their information to give them a plug. But it's a little tissue cover. They're a Nintendo tissue cover. Pretty nifty. Right up my alley. Put this next to my shelf. Okay, let's get into some video games. Number 1, I got Tecmo's Deception, Invitation to Darkness for PS1. This is a reacquisition. I owned this when I was younger. I actually found it in a bargain bin when I was younger, the first time I owned it, and I got it for around like less than $10. And now it's a much more obscure, and it's sort of it's a very cult game. Has a big cult following, and it's a little bit more pricey now. You know, you're hard pressed to find it for less than $25. I got it for around 20. This is one of the games that I actually sought out, not just, saw it for a good price and got it for my collection. This one I wanted to seek out, and I'm actually playing through it right now, and I'm capturing all of my footage from that playthrough, and I'm going to be doing my first official review. I'm getting all the information I can, all the visual stuff that I could want to talk about so that I could do a very good review, and I look forward to doing that. Editing is probably going to be crazy, though. So stay tuned for that, my review of Tecmo's Deception, Invitation to Darkness. Oh, I forgot to mention what kind of game it is. It's really neat. You're like the master of a castle, and what can I liken it to? I'd liken it to, it's like Home Alone, where you're Kevin McAllister and you're setting traps for invaders coming to your castle. That's what I would liken it to. It has a lot of role-playing elements to it from other role-playing games like leveling up and summoning. You set your traps. Different invaders to your castle are weak to various different traps, and so there's quite a bit of strategy to it, and there's some customizability because you can also add hallways and rooms to your house. Really cool. Good game for the PlayStation 1 again. Tecmo's Deception, Invitation to Darkness. Stay tuned for my review. Okay, now I got a big old pile of PlayStation 2 games. Now I got some of these online, and actually, hold on. No, actually, I only got one of these online because I was seeking it out, and that is Mega Man X collection. I have the Mega Man Anniversary collection as well on PlayStation 2, and this is one of my favorite games for the PS2, and this one, follows suit. You got the 7 Mega Man X games. Hold on. Who's to say here? Experience action-packed Mega Man X through Mega Man X6 in one incredible collection. And the exclusive hidden feature to this game is Mega Man Battle and Chase Racing Game. Never before released in the US. Maybe for a good reason, I don't know, I haven't played it yet. But yeah, you can't go wrong with, Mega Man X collection. If one thing I have to say about it that differs from this game, this one has a really cool sort of menu where you can choose which game you want to play. It's very interactive, where this one, it seems sort of like a cheap menu, if that makes any sense. But what can you say? You got all these great games in one package, and it's great. Okay, on to the rest of the PlayStation 2 games. I got a whole stack of them here that I got. All of these from my local video game shop, 1UP Games, owned by my new buddy, Matt Fox. We've been talking a lot about doing some videos in the future. He has an excellent video game collection, and we are going to be doing some videos together showcasing some of his greatest stuff. He has some stuff that I totally covet, and we're going to get together and do some collaboration. So it'll be good for me to get involved with my local gaming community as well. I look forward to it. 1UP Games, check them out at the link in the description. Okay, on to the games in alphabetical order, and the first one is a numbered game. 24, the game. Now, I actually never got into watching 24. I mean, I hear it's a great show, and I don't doubt it. It's just time is a factor, right? So anytime that there's like a game for a show or movie that I never heard of existed, I never heard of this game, I'm always a little interested, so I thought I'd get it and give it a whirl. I got it for a decent price. I'm not sure if it's like a first-person or third-person shooter. Not sure yet. Find out. Second on the PlayStation 2 list is Alone in the Dark. I owned Alone in the Dark for one of the Alone in the Dark games. I think it was the second one for PlayStation 1. And yeah, it was pretty creepy. I liked the setting. That specific game took place on an island. I'm not sure about this. Apparently it says, they said Central Park was blah, 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 blah. So I guess it takes place in New York. Yeah, it says New York will never be the same again. So that answers my question. Alone in the Dark takes place in New York, and I haven't played it yet, but I am a little bit of a fan of the series. I like survival horror, and it's great and has creepy creatures, if I can recall. So, Alone in the Dark. Don't want to be alone in the dark. I'm afraid of the dark. No, I'm not afraid of the dark. Okay, next is Evergrace. It's I always see it cheap. It's like an RPG, I guess. I always see it cheap in bins, and I, got it for less than $5. So thought I'd add it to the collection. Maybe get to it eventually. I have such a backlog behind me. I wish I could quit my job and do gaming full time and make money doing it. Yeah, quit my job and play video games forever. 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 So yeah, Evergrace. Don't know what to say about that. Maybe get to it someday. Alright. Enter the Matrix for PlayStation 2 as well. They're all PlayStation 2 in the stack. Well, this game is pretty neat. It adds some story elements to the backstory of the Matrix series. It was made by the Wachowski brothers and directed. It has exclusive film footage shot specifically for the game, so that was really interesting. I remember seeing in the special features, I believe in one of the Matrix DVDs, a making of the game, and it was really interesting, and not many movies were doing that. Nowadays, every movie has a game now, but this was kind of like the first of its kind that was so, crossover-y, that they had so much to do with each other. So this is a reacquisition. I used to own it, ended up not owning it. You know how it goes. And so I picked this up real cheap, and one reason I figured out why it was so cheap is, no booklet. Fuck! Oh God, there's no manual. This is going to seriously affect the value of this collectible item. I always like to get my games with booklets, but whatever, not too bad. I got it for $2, so can't complain. Here's an interesting little game that I saw online, and then I saw it at 1UP, and Matt Fox from One Up Games, he hooked me up with it, cut me a deal on it. He threw it in with the bunch of games I got because it was only $2 and he gave it to me for free. And that is, it's like Magic's Music Maker. And what this is, apparently, it turns your PlayStation 2 into an extreme music machine with Magic's Music Maker. This innovative disc will have you building your own CD-worthy tunes from thousands of killer riffs, scratches, catchy beats, vocals, and effects in just minutes. Mix funky tunes with some awesome visuals and effects to produce a custom music video. You're in complete creative control of your musical experience. So, you know, that sounds pretty interesting. It has a whole bunch of sound loops and stuff. I'm planning on putting this in, fucking around with it, seeing if maybe I can make some music that I can use on my channel. Let you know how that goes. Maybe I'll pop it in after I'm done recording this, see if I can whip something up that's cool. I'll let you know, keep you posted. But Magic's, with an X, Music Maker. Interesting. All right. This is a reacquisition, and that is Narc. Now, it says $9.99. That's not what I paid for it. It was marked down less than that. But yeah, Narc, what can I say? It's based on the original 1988 arcade hit of the same name, Narc. But in this one, you got a little bit better graphics than back then. A little bit better than 1988. And much more of a storyline to it. You play an elite narcotics officer, and you're voiced by actually Michael Madsen, which is cool. I love him and everything he does. He has huge presence to him, and especially his voice is used in a lot of things. And very distinctive voice and very badass. So he's in this game, and what's crazy about this game, and I can't believe that they allow it, is they have pretty much every drug under the sun. And just because you're a police officer doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do the best thing. You have the option to do every single drug. So you could be smoking weed or crack, or I don't know if there's alcohol. I think it might just be illicit drugs. But you got heroin, ecstasy, meth, and all that stuff, cocaine, you name it. And yeah, all of them, maybe there's a message behind it, because some of them have negative effects on you over the long run, of course, as drugs do. It might be a little bit of, don't do drugs, kids. Shouldn't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Narc, check it out. Here's an interesting game, and this one was one that my wife wanted to pick up, and I'm glad that she did. Rayman Raving Rabbids. And it's a great sort of it's like a Mario Party type-esque game, I would say, with less multiplayer capabilities to it. There's a single-player mode where you have to unlock all the extras, and then you have to go to a certain score mode to play with multiplayer. I'm not sure. Oh, it says 1 to 4 players, so yeah, if I had a multi-tap, which I'm planning on getting soon, then I could play 4-player Rayman Raving Rabbids, and it's a collection of mini games. You got shooting scenes that are like a railgun shooter with really funny themes. You got the Rabbids are always running around like, wah! Wah! We're always freaking out. The wife and I were playing it and having a ball, laughing at it. And you got other mini games like where you're dancing with timing. You got to hit the buttons at the right time to do the moves. You also have ones where you have to spin around the joystick and then release stuff and just press up and down alternately to run and stuff. Games like that. So it is pretty fun. We were having a lot of fun with it and played for a few hours. Here's one that I always wanted to check it out, because when I was reading PlayStation Magazine, they hyped it a lot. That was around the time when I was reading that. And Run Like Hell. I guess I could say this is kind of this is like Dead Space before Dead Space. It's like you're on a space station, I guess, and there's aliens and your crew's dead and you're trying not to get dead yourself. So I always thought this was cool. The alien on the back kind of looks like an alien from the movie Alien. I don't know. Do you see it? Looks like a xenomorph thing. Yeah. Well, anyways, always wanted to check it out. It has a really cool dark atmosphere to it, and it's creepy, and I like games where you feel like you're on the edge of your seat. Run Like Hell. Here's an interesting title. and it's made by the makers of Skyrim, but Bethesda Softwork, is that what it is? Bethesda, and that's Star Trek Conquest. And I've seen this online, and then I saw it at the shop, and I wanted to pick it up and try it out. And what this is, it's like a tactical strategy game, and you can control one of the 5 races. I think, let's see, there's the Federation, Klingon, Cardassian, Breen, Romulan. Yeah, that's all of them. And you can control each one of them. You get 3. You can have 3 fleets, each with its own admiral, that you can move around. It's on a board, like a board game almost, with different spaces that are different sectors and galaxies, and you have to, build up your fleets, and then you got to go over and attack and to gain some more ground against enemies. I played against 2 enemies and I won on easy mode, and then I went to normal mode against several enemies, and it gets quite difficult. So I probably in the future am going to do a little bit of a gameplay video on it. There's a learning curve to it. At first it seemed very daunting, but once you kind of learn, it's very simple, and it's kind of fun. I played for quite a few hours the other night. Star Trek Conquest by Bethesda. Skyrim guys, Elder Scrolls guys. Okay, last PlayStation 2 game I have to show is TMNT. I am a huge TMNT guy. I mean, what person from the 80s isn't, right? Anywho, I want to collect all the Turtles games, maybe do a whole series on them eventually. So, of course, this one, it was up for a cheap price. Picked it up, and one thing I was really, really, really surprised and a little upset about is that this is only 1 player. Now, 1 player, there's 4 turtles. Every other Turtles game, except the first one, that I can recall has been multiplayer. So what's the deal with that? You come out with a Turtles game for PlayStation 2, and it's only 1 player. Anyways, this has the I think they made this right after they made that newish movie, the one that came out before the one that Michael Bay's doing now, that animated movie. And to be honest, I love the old school Turtles. The animation style of the show was great, and I love the real body suits that they wore in the movies. The first 2 movies were good. The third movies were way too cartoony, the suits, but the first 2 movies were great. And I would be all right if if they made the new remake with those turtle suits. I would be fine with that. I don't need CG, but those were the kind of animation styles and suit for the Turtles that I liked. I don't like the animation style of the new Turtles. I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. Don't like it. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Let's talk about it. It's one of them things. Okay, on to the final section of my pickup video, and that is Xbox 360 games. Again, I am so sorry that I do not have any cartridges this episode. I am a retro gamer, but I am also a current gamer. I'm all over the spectrum. So, sometimes I get disc ones, sometimes I get a bunch of cartridge ones. Next episode, I will have some cartridges to show. But this time, just deal with it. It's only discs. Discs only. Okay, got a stack of Xbox 360. Let's go through them. Alright, first on the list, Call of Duty World at War. What can I say about that? Except it's Call of Duty. They're all pretty much the same. Yeah, can't really say anything about that. I'm getting the whole set because I do find them to be fun. I like first-person shooters, and the controls are great. How they don't change too much. I don't mind that, and it's good to have different levels to play. Call of Duty, great. Ooh, here's one that I was playing the other day, and it's great. It's awesome. Doom 3, the BFG edition, the Big Fucking Gun edition. I was a fan of original Doom, of course. Even Doom 2, I have them both on, the arcade. This one actually comes with them. This edition comes with the original Doom and Doom 2 games. which I already had on the Xbox, so I didn't really need it, but it is cool if you don't have that. This one has it, Doom 3 BFG edition. And this is pretty creepy game. I was walking around and it's very dark. You have to use your flashlight. I like games like that because this is one of those ones you want to turn off the lights and turn up the volume if you can, because you're going to get some startled moments. You got monsters that jump out of the vents over top of you, much like Alien. You know, it's crazy. I haven't played too far into it. I've played the first few levels, and I am excited to play through it. It is fun. I would recommend it. Doom 3. Okay, here's a game that I got for a series that I haven't started yet. Far Cry Instincts, Predator Edition thing, I guess. It says it's got 2 games in one, which I guess is always good. You know, I like that. It says bonus game includes enhanced Far Cry Instincts, the shooter of the year, redesigned for Xbox 360. Okay, so I guess what this is it's like they release like a second game and put the original game sort of mastered or something. It's enhanced. So I don't know, another series that I haven't gotten into, but I look forward to hopefully getting into it. Not sure which one this is in the series. Let me know if you know. Haven't done that research yet. Oh, here, I'll name these off, the next 4 together in groups of 2. And that is, I got Fear and Fear 2, which I have a friend who really highly recommended it and said that it is pretty creepy, and you know, it's a first-person shooter with some paranormal aspects to it, and you know, you got like a creepy girl that looks like the Ring girl, I guess, and you know, look how creepy that is. I love survival horror, and I love when they mix that with first-person shooter. You know, it's nice to break away from just shooting other soldiers and stuff, and you know, Fear 2. Okay, the next 2 I'll name together as well. 99 Nights and 99 Nights 2. 99. Now these, as far as I can tell, I haven't popped them in yet and played them, but they very much look like Dynasty Legends. What do they call that? It's very much like Dynasty Warriors, in that you have huge battlefields with lots of enemies that you're just bashing away at. And you know, I have a friend who was just over today actually, and he said that he's played it and it is pretty sweet. So when I find the time, eventually I will get to it. 99 Nights. They were both there, so I picked them both up. Bonus, I like that. All right, Prince of Persia. Now, I used to play the version for Super Nintendo my buddy had. Not too much, but you know, this is I remember this being a pretty well-acclaimed game, and it has some good reviews, and it's a great series. It has some weight behind it, so I'm looking forward to getting into it. I'm not sure how many there are of the next-gen systems, and by next-gen I mean anything later than Super Nintendo. I'm not going to say I know, but PlayStation 2, pretty sure there's one for that. I don't know, you let me know. But anyways, Prince of Persia, I look forward to getting into that. You know, platformer, what are you going to do? Alright, here's an interesting one that I've been seeing cheap all over actually, and I'm wondering if it's crap. I played the first couple levels of it. That's Vampire Reign. Yeah, seen this one around? I did, and I decided to buy it. It was really cheap, so decided to check it out. And you're like a team of vampire hunters. Like the world's been kind of like taken over by like these vampires, which are called walkers for some reason. You know, when was this game made? 2007. You know, they're talking about walkers. You know. Anyways, the character style is very much like, you see, they're very much like remind me of Siphon Filter or a Splinter Cell, the character models, and it's very stealth based. The first few levels I played, it's one of those games where it does the tutorials pretty well, that lets you know how to play the game, the different mechanics and aspects to it. So I played the first few levels. You know, you gotta stick to rooftops. It's always raining, vampire rain, which adds to the environment. It does feel pretty creepy and somber. You're in these sort of like ghost towns, hunting down these vampire dudes that are killing people, and it's a pretty interesting game. I'll maybe I'll do a video on it later, saying more information about it if I play it further. I haven't played everything and been shown all the stuff in the tutorials yet, but it seems interesting so far. Better than I would expect from like a bargain bin game. Okay, last game I'm going to mention and piqued my interest is Velvet Assassin. And it piqued my interest because it was apparently inspired by the fascinating real-life story of the secret agent Violette Szabo. Let me read the back to you. Velvet Assassin tells the story of Violet Summer, a spy deep behind enemy lines during World War II. Has intense stealth action gameplay, startling real-time lighting systems, and surreal visuals that combine to produce an incredible gaming experience. So I saw this, it piqued my interest since it's sort of based on a true story, I guess. I want to read more up on this person that it's based on, Violet Szabo. And I haven't seen anything about this game and it looked interesting to me. So eventually I'll get to it. Eventually. My backlog's fucking ridiculous. Well, that's it for this episode of JROCK'S Video Game Pickups. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're watching this at the end, you're a trooper. This has been a lot of games. I think I got like what? Let me count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 games for the shelf. We're going to need a bigger boat. So yeah, thanks for sticking with me for this episode, and stay tuned for some more episodes. I'll have some cartridges to show you next time. Subscribe, like, share, and be my pal, and keep on rocking them games.